Happy birthday, Mexico!
And Costa Rica.
Costa Rica, yeah.
And Costa
Yeah.
Rica, of course, yes.
Yeah.
Look at it.
Look at that. Yes.
That
Look at that Mexican flag.
Look at that. For those who think that Independence Day is on May the 5th, it's not. It's today for it. It's not. So if you have some avocado in your fridge, go get it. Now
Go
is the
get it.
time. Now is the
get it
time. Now is the time. Because we are celebrating our Independence Day.
So I was actually gonna ask you about that because I really don't know, why do you guys celebrate on May 5th?
That's an excellent question.
You don't know?
Excuse me?
You don't know.
Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo. I don't know. Maybe there was no holidays on May.
No.
You don't have
the only holiday. No, not even. I don't even know.
I don't know what happened.
Anyone who celebrates.
No, I think there was a battle.
Birthday. Yeah, it's
There
a
was
battle. A battle in a state called Puebla, a very ugly state in Mexico.
Okay.
If you can, please avoid it. It doesn't work. Okay. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. People fall down in that state every time.
They fall down.
They fall down every time. Every time. Anyway, happy to see you. Happy to have you here, the whole gang tonight.
Yay!
We're back. And not
we are.
that, but we also have a special guest tonight. Woo!
Who?
So before, yeah. I don't know. I don't know if that happened to you. When I was a kid, I had a very bad childhood. I have to start from that.
Same sadness.
But I have some memories of some childhood songs, but there are Mexican songs, things like that, like very regional, classic childhood songs.
Okay.
And then when I come here and I first tried to sing some songs to my daughters, I got a book. I started looking through some rhymes and songs, and I found a song called Apples and Bananas. And it goes like, I like to eat apples and bananas. And then you change the letter, the vowels, right? Through, you play with all the vowels, in the entire song. And then it's like, I like to, what's the next one? Eat? No, ate. Whatever. So it's, everybody. So what if we introduce to our stage a person who I think will know better? Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So please welcome to the stage, Alba. Alba from Meeples and
I like to
Eight.
apples and Baneenees. Oh no, ya me puse I gave myself the name of Meeples and Baneenees. Anyway.
Woo! That's how Alba.
How
are you?
You know what? I gotta confess.
Al grito de guerra.
Yeah, that's our song. Sorry, we're majority here.
Support.
Yeah.
Sorry. How are you, Alba?
Love it.
Tired, but good.
Welcome to the club. You're in the right place. You are in the tired.
This is the tired club.
You're the tired guy.
Yeah.
Someone come and hold my eyes open.
Keep them open.
Yeah.
Same here.
I would recommend coffee, but unfortunately, at some point it starts to hurt you inside. So no, it's better if you try to find some other ways to keep you awake. But if I tell you, maybe I will have some censorship in our video. So try to keep the things legal here.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's too early anyway. So, but here we are. We're really happy to have you, Alba. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
So, first of all, I think we would like to, every time we have a guest in our podcast, we would like to know a little bit more about our distinguished guest. Because, yeah, of course you are. Of course you are. So, we would love to hear from you, something about your background. What are you doing? I don't know. Maybe you can omit the details that you don't want to tell us. But
Okay.
whatever you want to share with us and with the audience will be very welcome,
Okay.
especially whatever is related with the board gaming, because this is a part of being a targeted club. This is also a board gaming club, a board gaming podcast. So
Yes.
it will
Yes.
be good if you can share with us some details about your involvement in this amazing world in the hobby. So the floor is yours, please, Alba. What can you tell us about yourself?
Okay, let's see. Quick Cliff's notes. So I live in New York City, in Brooklyn. I'm Mexican, and I started playing board games. Well, like modern board games. I had the kind of childhood where I was familiar with just only the normal stuff, that highly commercial things.
World tourists.
Yeah, exactly. So exactly. Turista mundial. But during COVID, my husband and I, during this time of like, we were playing video games, we were watching TV series, we were blah blah blah, and then at some point, I think when we were able to kind of walk around a little bit more, we wandered into a board game store, and he bought something, and he bought Jaipur.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, really cool game. So, he brought it home. We played it and we were both like, whoa, this is really cool. There's more, So then, so after a little while, like we went back to the store and we're like, hey, so we really like this game. Like, what else do you have? And this girl was like, oh, you could try this co-op game. What is that one called? The jungle, forbidden, but not jungle, because that's a new one, right?
Desert.
So forbidden, whatever, desert. Yeah, probably desert.
Yeah, it's one of them.
No, island. It was the one with
Island.
water.
Forbidden Island?
Yeah, it had
Oh,
water.
there you go.
So it was Forbidden Island, and so we brought it home, and we thought it was a good game, but we didn't. It was like not for us, and I think
Okay.
at that point we were definitely like, wow, there's a whole world of stuff. But even though I didn't love it, I was like, I didn't even imagine that you could play a game like this where you're a team and there's these like timer and the forces and you're flipping the tiles, and like just everything about it was like, what? It's just a different world and a different experience of, it's not Monopoly. It's not, these things that I was just familiar with. So
Yeah.
totally different mechanics, totally different concept of you working as a team. So anyway, at that point I was like, well, okay, this game is not for us, but what else is there? So then we're back to the store, Anyway, as they say, the rest is history. After that, I was like, oh, wow, YouTube? Wow, Reddit? Oh, man, people are talking about board games. There's whole world. There's like now hundreds and hundreds of board games that are coming out every year. It's insane.
It is.
It
So,
is.
yeah.
That's basically how you get into this world.
That's how I got into the world. And then since then, I've just, I started meeting people on Instagram. And then I met my friend Canon, Punchboard Cathedral. And he.
In regards to him.
Yeah. And we started, he started a podcast, and he brought me in his coattails with him. So we've been doing that. We're not as, you guys are really good about doing it every week. We do it every sometimes. So it's a goal to get better on a better schedule, but it's kind of hard right now. So anyway, that's it. And now we do that, and what else? And that's everything.
That's everything.
And here we are.
You gave us everything, Alba. Thank you so much.
I love it.
That's great.
You guys have any question? Because I do have a question here, but I want to hear you first.
Go ahead. You can go first.
Go ahead.
He wants his question to be last.
Yeah.
What a diva.
Yeah.
Of course. No regrets whatsoever. Anyway,
That is an amazing story. I think definitely, it's one of the positive outcomes from the pandemic. So what do you have any idea what brought your husband to walk into a board game store? Did he just saw like, let's see, that looks interesting?
I think
Were you with
so.
him, or was
No,
he
I
like
think I think that
by
when he got
himself?
I think when he got the game, the first game, when he got Jaipur, that he was definitely by himself because I remember it was kind of a surprise. Like I was like, oh, okay,
What is
like
that?
yeah, and I was like, well, I guess we can try this. Like, why not? You know, and it was definitely a surprise. I think that I don't know what prompted him to do it. I think just because we were in the middle of this was deep into the pandemic. So in New York, for
Right.
people who don't know, I mean, I'm not saying it wasn't bad in all
I
over the
mean, there's a
world.
lot of people in New York.
Yeah, but New York City during COVID was a pretty scary time, and about I don't know, we were months into the pandemic at this point, so we had already watched like we watched all of Battlestar Galactica. We had already watched, you know, Star Trek. We were
Running
already
out of
watching.
things.
Yeah, exactly. And we had done all these different things. We were played through a bunch of video games, and I think that it was just kind of reaching that
Looking for
point.
something else.
Yeah, where it's like, what can we do that's different? Because
Exactly.
we still have so much time to kill with each, you know, I'm not with each other. We enjoy each other's company, but you know what I
Before
mean?
we
It's
kill
like,
each other,
Yeah.
instead we start to do something.
yeah, exactly. I mean, we
Rather
just
to
were
do
so
something else.
isolated. So it was like,
Yeah.
what can we do? And I think that we had gotten to the point where there were businesses that were starting to open, but you know, you had to wear masks and everything. So you could go places, and there were a lot of places where you could go and only like a few people could go in at a time, this kind of thing. So I think it was during this period of COVID in which, like, okay, there's some freedom. You can go walk around, you can, you know, wander into something, but also you couldn't like go to a bar or go to
Right.
just somewhere to hang out. It was still kind
Still
of like
restricted.
little freedoms.
Right.
So I think in that time, I don't know, he probably was just like, you know, we need something new. Like, this seems interesting. Let's try it. And of course, Jaipur is like a little game, so it's not like an expensive one. I'm sure he
Right.
thought, this is cool. We'll give it a try and see what happens. Can't lose anything.
Do,
And yeah.
do you know if that was a recommendation for him or
Yeah.
it was like, this looks just nice. It's a
No,
small
no, no.
book. I just pick it up.
The woman at the store recommended it. I think he came in there and he was like, "Well, what can two people play?" You know, and she's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, wow," you know, and she started talking to him.
I know
like-
some people like that.
Yeah. But you know what? I really appreciate people like that. I think that now, years into playing board games and stuff, when I go to a board game store and the person is enthusiastic about the games and they want to talk to you about like, oh, well, you liked this, well, maybe you'll like that, because you think it's like that, but it's actually not like that everywhere. So I really appreciate when I was just in Portland, Oregon, and the guy who was working, I went and met up with Rolling Reggie from Instagram, and we went to this board game store and played some games together. And then the guy who was working, he was just like so enthusiastic, like into it. He saw us playing NAR, and he came over. He was like, "Oh, do you guys know the strategy about the blah blah blah?" And I was like, "No." And he's like, "Oh, okay. I'm gonna let you play, but I'll come back."
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
So yeah, I love that. I love that energy. You know, where it's like, "Oh, you have something for me to share? Like, great." You know.
Right, right. That's nice because sometimes when someone is new or trying to discover, really just knowing nothing about the hobby, it will be good to have like a guru or a guide who, without being like very pushy on things like you have to try like this and that without introduced properly into this hobby, it will be a, you know, it's like you said, it's really appreciated when someone have the patience and the enthusiasm to teach and show new games. So that's awesome. It's great. So you have like a really good introduction into the hobby,
Yeah.
which I think starting from there, how fast you think it will be it has been your path through
My
the hobby.
descent into
Your
madness.
descent. Yes, exactly. I don't want to
I
say
guess
like
he wants
that,
to
but
know
yeah.
how many games did you acquire? At what In what time
And
At
period?
what
and
kind
that
of pace?
yeah.
You know what? I don't. I'm one of those people who doesn't log anything. So I don't actually know how many board games I have. I don't know how many times I've played anything. I don't know how many times I've won anything. I have no stats. But
Mhm.
I can tell you anecdotally that at first it was kind of like a, okay, we got one here, one there. It was like, oh,
Mm.
cool, there's more stuff. And then the thing was, so my husband is like, really, he's one of those people that really spends a lot of time on like YouTube and Reddit and like just, I don't know, different forums out there. And before COVID, I mean, of course I knew how to use YouTube, but like I just didn't spend a lot of time. I didn't spend a
Yeah.
lot of time searching for things on YouTube like
I
how
used it
to's or
differently.
yeah.
Differently.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It was just kind of like, okay, maybe I'm gonna watch a music video now and then. But then during COVID, when he saw that I was starting to get into the games, he's like, "Oh, you know that there's probably channels you can watch. Like you can learn about games from here." And I was like, "Really?" So then I started going on YouTube and I found all the ones, I found like the Dice Tower. I found Shut Up and Sit Down. I spent like a lot of time watching Shut Up and Sit Down. I spent, just realizing that there were like videos and it was so much catalog. I'm like, oh, great. I'm consuming all of this stuff. And just on and on. It was like when I ran out of one channel, I was like, okay, what else? And then, so that at that point, I started realizing, wow, there's so much stuff. And of course, with Dice Tower, then they have a thing where it's like, there's things crowdfunding. And I was like, crowdfunding? What?
What is that?
Yeah. So
No,
then I
how
was
fast?
like,
When did that happen? When did you get into crowdfunding?
probably, let's see, a year into it. So like, I think maybe it was like from one summer to the next when I discovered that there was crowdfunding games, and I thought, wow, this is really cool. Like you can support these indie companies and get these
Support.
cool games. So I went through that thing where all of a sudden I like just funded like, I don't know, maybe not a ton of stuff, but like 4 or 5 things. But then of course it's COVID, so like everything took so long to complete. And then by the time they arrived, I was kind of like, oh right, I don't know if I'm gonna play this now. So
Yeah.
I definitely like pumped the brakes on the crowdfunding thing. I kind of
Good.
got salty about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, some companies still trying to managing the exit from COVID. Like they're still taking their time
Yeah,
to complete their projects and stuff. So it was a
Yeah.
big deal back then.
yeah,
And I mean, I cannot blame them. It's like
no. And
it's there.
also, I think the other thing that kind of turned me off over time was realizing, because at first when I was like, kind of new, I was green and enthusiastic, I thought, wow, like these little companies and these people who are designing board games. And yeah, there's still some of that, but really, I think since then, it's become clear that a lot of it is also established companies who are just using crowdfunding for, boosting the marketing of a game or basically deluxifying to the max. And it kind of made me realize like, oh, that's not the experience I was looking for. I thought like, oh yeah, maybe like this person who couldn't get a game published otherwise is gonna do it.
Right.
And there's like a little bit of that, but for the most part, I think it's usually things that I'm like, it's gonna come to retail later, and I don't need all these like components. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's the voice of a person who is a smart person
Yeah.
that doesn't that talks.
Yeah.
A mature board gamer.
Yeah, exactly. Not like some guys around like without even taking a look of the actual. Hey,
Well,
all your
well,
horses, all your
Well,
horses.
see, for me, the thing was that you
No,
look at a
hold on
project.
there. I don't no. Wait, whatever. Yeah.
You look at a
No.
project, and I mean, Kickstarter is it's a selling page, right? It's like, look at it, we're gonna do this, and it's gonna look so beautiful, and it sells you an idea. But then a lot of times the idea doesn't deliver, or the idea sounds amazing in your head, but in real life it doesn't. The mechanics don't work. It doesn't give you the feeling that you were hoping it would, and that's such a big disappointment.
But that's
Oh, yeah.
something you learn along the way. So it's
Well,
something
how
that
many games do we need to buy
that
to
that's
learn the
that's
lesson?
Yes,
that's what
exactly.
that's why you need a guru. That's why you need a guide.
That's why you need a guru. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's why you have to follow Masking Maple on Instagram to know
Yeah.
no,
which
no,
one.
please, no, please don't. No, no, I'm not terrible on that. I will, I will tell you. No, yeah, go ahead. All in, all in,
All
Get
in.
all of
all
it.
in. You don't want the poor version. Go get the one you
You need
deserve.
the minis.
Are you poor? Are you poor? You feel like that? So they go get the cardboard stuff. Otherwise, go get full, all in.
Yeah. Well, as you know,
Wow.
Kickstarter crowdfunding, it's a whole
Woo.
topic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Whole
exactly.
world.
But good for
Anyway.
you for maturing very fast.
Oh, thank
Hmm.
you. Thank you.
So
Yes.
before we move to our first section of, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, official first section
Hmm.
in the
Hmm.
podcast, I just
Hmm.
have a couple of quick questions.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always curious about how you decided that Meeples and Baneenees will be your name for your account. I was like
Uh,
very curious for me, like
oh,
sometimes
well, good
just quick
question.
question.
I don't know. I think I was just like, obviously, okay, so I have a, a child who's 2 now, but at the time when I established the account, I think he was just born, and we're pretty recent. And so we were listening to a lot. I mean, we still listen to a lot of kids' music. And so I think because we were hearing a lot of like, I like to eat, eat apples and bananas. Or sorry, I keep saying it. See, I can't get it out of my head now.
Of
Apples and
course,
bananas.
of course.
I was like thinking about things that rhymed with like meeples and then I thought, oh, okay, that could be like apple, like the song a little bit. So that's why I thought of it. But it was really silly. And then at some point I was like, wish I could go back and change it. But also I think that's just
No, I mean,
sorry. Whoa, that's my identity now. I'm just Meeples and Baneenees.
I mean, it's a brand now.
It's a brand. You
It's a
can't
brand.
take
Yes.
it back.
Yeah, exactly. When you take it, you take it. That's
Mm-hmm.
it. The brand is now, the brand owes you now.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And the second question I have
Mm-hmm.
is, so the Instagram account,
Mm-hmm.
it was initially like for you to share, or it was just specifically created for sharing board gaming content.
Yeah, I didn't. I didn't have any like master plans for it because I didn't even know that there was such a social media. I don't know network of people playing board games, and I mean, it's kind of silly because there's that for everything. Everything is in the internet somewhere. There's a place for everybody. So I should have known that there would be like, wow, this is like its own genre of of the social media platform. But at the time, it was just sort of like, well, man, I'm doing all this stuff like, and again, it's COVID. So it's like, and I'm thinking like, who do I talk to? Who do I connect with? Like, how do I do something with this experience? And I just thought, well, I know how to use Instagram, so I'll just start an Instagram where I take pictures and I just make comments about the games that I'm playing. But I didn't really have like anything beyond that. That was it. It was just like, well, I'm doing this and it's my life right now, so might as well like try to connect with people about it and chat about games. But yeah, it never occurred to me. I mean, at that point, I didn't know there were cons. I didn't know, you know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah,
had
yeah,
no
yeah.
idea that I would like meet people in real life as a result of Instagram. Never crossed my mind.
I'm actually wondering if there is anyone who start an account thinking like, okay, this is gonna be like something that I will targeting, like, I don't know, probably reaching a certain number of followers or reaching a certain number or a specific audience within the board gaming world or whatever. I mean, I think it's my thought that probably most of us just started an account and then the things just develop by themselves, just like one
Yeah.
thing, go.
I think so. I think you just started and all of a sudden you like,
Right.
people are commenting and you're having conversations and you're like, oh yeah, like, I mean, cause I can say from just personal experience when people put up pictures of games that I either really love or have been wanting to play or, I'm always like, oh, wow, I had my eye on that. That looks so cool. What did you think? Tell me your thoughts, blah, blah, blah. So it's like it just starts a conversation. And so, yeah, fast forward, all of a sudden I'm like, I ended up at Gen Con last year for the first time. And I just met people that were on Instagram. And so that was like, wow, that's really
Oh,
cool. I didn't imagine that.
they're real. They're not just.
Yeah, they're not just exactly, they're not
They're
just
not
little
bots.
pictures. Yeah.
I got surprised the first time as well, Alba. Don't
Yeah.
blame you. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like, oh my god, that's your
It's pretty amazing.
face.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, but with you, I wouldn't know, because
Because of the mask.
You're
But
still
it's
a
still
mystery.
like,
yeah,
yeah.
man of mystery.
Exactly.
Although I guess you still stand out in the crowd.
Of course, yeah. I
He
mean, it's
does.
like from far away.
They're his.
Yeah,
From
yeah.
far away.
No,
That's what
I
I'm wearing. That's what I'm wearing. Just for
I
people to
actually have
identify
a
me.
funny story with Keenan
Oh, yeah?
because he approached to us at Junkin and he was like, "Hi, I'm Keenan," and I'm like, "Oh, hi, how are you?" I am Punchboard Cathedral. Oh, hi, how
Yeah,
are you?
yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's you.
That's you. Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
So with
It's
his
so
name, I
funny.
don't know what. I don't know
That's
what
like-
you.
It's like you. I mean, we're superheroes. We have dual identities here. So
We
by
do.
our names, we are nobody. Well, me,
Mhm.
I'm nobody. Then I put the mask. I'm still nobody with some followers. That's
It's true.
difference. That's true. I mean, it's a true story as well. Like no, in my case, I'm not wearing this thing all the way, all the time.
What?
You're
But
not?
then when I wear it, I'm like, oh, so that you're that guy is like, probably. You never know. Maybe I'm just another guy pretending to be this other guy.
They could be.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like sometimes I have conversations with my husband about like, board games and board game related stuff. And I find that I'm like, oh yeah, like my friend. And then I'm like saying the handle, of the person. And I'm like, okay, that sounds weird when I say it like that, in like a story. And it's like, it's a
Right.
friend from Instagram.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It happened to me as well. Who were you talking to? Like a friend from Instagram. Who
Yeah.
is, let me go get and take the name, the right name, because
Yeah,
I don't want
exactly.
just
Yeah.
to call like, oh, it's Wonder Meeple. It's
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
something like that. Or Meeples and Baneenees. It will be like that. Anyway, thank you for sharing all this. It's
Oh,
always
yeah.
good
my
to
pleasure.
hear from you. So let's move forward to our first section of this podcast. As you may know, we always talk about what games we have recently played, probably within the last week, or I don't know, the board games that you remember you have played recently and most recently. So we want to share just a couple of thoughts about those games. So I would like to start with you, Alba. What games do you want to share with us? The games that you have recently played, or the last games you played?
Okay, well, let's see. I don't play. Well, okay, this is not the most recent game I've played, but it is a recent game I played
Okay.
that I actually played with Kenan. So I recently, in August, my sister lives in California, so I was visiting in LA, and Kenan lives not far from LA. So I drove there, we hung out, and we played some games with his friends, and we played Kemet. And
Nice.
I had never played that before. Boy, it was epic. It was pretty huge. Kemet is like a area control, an
Yeah.
Egyptian themed board game with minis, and it's huge. Like it just has. Oh my gosh, there's like a million tiles that you're
Yep.
kind of selecting actions from. And anyway, it was a pretty interesting game. I think I had mixed feelings. It's very kind of has an older classic feel as opposed to some modern board games. We also it's like it moves a little slower, I think, than some more modern games. At the same time, it feels like there's a lot of depth in the decision making of the game, but I think I came away from it feeling like the teach, first of all, is pretty extensive. It takes a while to teach. So, by the way, bravo to Kenan. He did an enormously heavy lifting of learning and then teaching all of us how to play Kemet. So, thank you for that. And, but yeah, you're kind of like, okay, as it's, in your first game, you're like, all right, there's a lot to process here. And there's a lot of analysis paralysis because you're kind of like, okay, well, if I do this, and so everybody's turn is a little bit like that, and it's going pretty slow, and you have a lot of decisions to make in terms of these little tiles that you have to read.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt like at the same time, oh, this game was the kind of game that if I was meeting up with these people every week, if this was my game group and I was seeing them all the time, and we were playing this like every week, every 2 weeks or something, I was like, oh, this game would first of all be a lot quicker, and second of all, I could see where there would be so much depth and interesting decisions, and could become a really, a favorite game.
Mm-hmm.
But I at the in the play that I had of it, I was kind of like, I was hoping it was going to be feel different, but I think it's because it was just such an arc of like you're learning so much as you're going, and it's taking a while, and it's just like the processing of everything. It doesn't have like the immediate excitement and immediate rush of understanding how everything goes. You have to get a few plays into it, I think, before everything clicks, and that you're like, Kemet is a great game.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so, yeah, so that was my feeling. I felt like, oh man, I walked away having all these like mixed emotions about it, and that I was like, I wish I could play it more, but like, when is that going to happen? First of all, it's not my copy, but even if I had it, it would be hard to get the same group to play this enough times for me to feel like, yes, we are
Yeah.
now
We are
Kemet people.
enjoying. Right.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly. I really want to like this game, but I need more time and the same people every time so I can enjoy the full. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. Yeah, yeah. I think that's a really interesting point of view in terms of how you can, you know, identify by playing a game when you think, okay, I know this game is great. I mean, it looks great. It feels great at certain point, but I'm pretty sure it will be even better if you, like you said, we have like the chance to play it more and more and more, and even with people who actually know how to play. So it will be like more rewarding at the end. Yeah, that's
Yeah, I mean, like even when I see the pictures that you're putting up, I'm like getting
mhm,
excited because I'm like, oh yeah, the pyramid thing was really cool. How you're
mhm.
building up the pyramids, and maybe if I had done this other strategy, I could have like done something with that. And oh, I wish I had gotten into more, fights with people and see because you can go. It definitely encourages you to battle. But I feel like I didn't battle enough. I didn't get myself into enough spaces to like fight people in area control. Anyway, the point is, as I'm looking at the pictures, I'm like, yeah, that game is good. That game is good. I should have like done more. There's more to be,
Mhm.
experienced here. But at the same time, in my first play, I was also kind of like, oh, I didn't get
I
the
want
rush that I
more.
wanted.
Right, right, right. Cool. That's really nice. So yeah, that's coming. I actually have you played this one, buddy?
I actually have I have the copy of it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yes, and I have only played it once, and I felt kind of the same way as Alba. I don't remember. It's been a while, but I don't know. I felt that it was gonna be this amazing, epic experience, and it felt kind of like okay.
Nah.
I don't
Probably
know.
because of
Maybe
the same reason.
Mm-hmm.
probably. I mean, yes, the game definitely wants you to get into battles because that's how you get points if you win. So it's not just the air control gives you points, but the winning the battles gives you points. And it definitely wants you to, do some kind of alliances because it's everybody against everybody. And the map is designed in such a way that you can reach anybody in
Mm.
the same amount of distance. They made some like teleportation points so that you can. It's not like, oh, Mask Meeples on the other side of the board. I'm never gonna fight with him. No, like you can in this board. So it definitely wants you to. It's like a all against everybody. It's a
Everything
brawl.
is connected
Uh,
somehow.
but yeah, there is but it's not like I was saying. There is depth to the game. It's not just let's go get in the ring and fight each other, but there is like these technology tiles which allow you to get, it guides your strategy. It could be less aggressive, it could be more aggressive, it could be defensive, it could be in the pyramids, it could be yeah. So there's definitely more to explore than just one play, but
Mhm.
yeah. An interesting game, and yes, it definitely feels older because it is older. I don't
I
remember
think
the
this one it
original
was a
copy.
reprint. It was a
It is,
reprint.
yes,
Mhm. on that
Yeah, I don't
one.
remember when the original came out, but this one was definitely
2016 was originally published, and the
mhm.
reprint came out on 2021.
Yep.
So there you go. Yeah. I
But yeah,
mean,
that's my
now
experience.
2026 sounds old for you, probably, but
My
back in
God,
those
that's
days, it was a
eight years
great
ago.
game. No,
Oof.
I agree. And to be honest, this game has been in my wish list for a long time. But also, it's been there because I just seen a review. I don't remember exactly where, out there in YouTube, from
Shut
some
up and sit
people.
down.
I don't know. I don't remember. Probably.
They're amazing.
And yeah, so they recommend it as a really good game, and they explain why, blah blah blah. But this is kind of the kind of feedback that you also want to hear from people who actually have played the game and have different opinions, so you can also like, okay, well,
Mhm.
thank you, actually, thank you for sharing those thoughts. Because even when I have my group of friends who comes to play every Friday, I don't think we will have to, or we will play the same game like 2 or 3 nights in a row, or even every 2 weeks or so. So it will be kind of complicated. Even I think, especially with those kind of heavy games, they will not be willing to play like more than 1 or 2 times.
Yeah.
So man, yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
could
see
see
that's
why.
that was the thing. My husband and I were chatting about it after we played just like on the way home or something, and yeah, we were like, this game feels like it comes from a different era of board games in like the way that people play. So like now there's so many choice and so many games and everything's coming out like, and you're trying to get through different piles of games because there's just so much to experience. So it's going to be rare, like you said, that first of all that you're going to get for that kind of time to play that long of a game, and then to do it so many times in a row, or enough to really get everything you want out of the experience. But also, like, I think people are just not, it's not, I think Kemet is like, feels like it was probably was shining when people had 5-10 games in their collection, and they're like, I'm playing Kemet every other time or every few times because I only have 10 games. But
Right.
now people
Right.
have like a bazillion games.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a problem there when you
Yeah.
have like too many games from where to choose, and if you really want to play them all, I mean, it will be very difficult to play a game that you really like. I mean, even when you really like a game, if you really want to go through all your library, it will be very difficult to put it back on the table sometime. Well, but that's cool. That's really cool.
Yep.
Really interesting. Well,
Hmm.
let me ask Adri. Adri, what do you have recently played?
Okay. So not on the table. Sorry.
Sorry.
It's
But
okay.
board
You've been
game.
playing.
Yeah, board game arena. I've been playing like a lot. Again,
A lot.
Like a lot.
81.
right
Again, we
now,
have we
not,
have a
not
question for you. We have a question for her every episode,
like
but we
every
will keep it
episode.
for now. But for now,
Okay.
just share with us what games you have played.
So the first game I wanted to share is Castle Combo.
Oh, is that?
Castle Combo.
This is actually
Okay.
super quick to play. You have to spend coins to buy the cards. So you spend coins, you
Oh
buy a
yeah.
card, and you put it in the middle. That's the start. Then
Mm,
next turn, if you want to move the messenger, you can have it on top or you can have it down there. You can choose from the cards where you move the messenger from. And then depending on the various sections in the card, like down the card, it could tell you that it will give you some special addition abilities or special rewards for that card or positioning that card or for the flags or colors. So you will be doing that until you form a grid of 3 times 3,
mhm,
and then you finish the game, and the one with the most points win.
mm.
But it's super easy. So you will be purchasing cards, positioning the cards so that you will win rewards from the cards, and then it's super fast.
this is a game that has been recently published by Pandasaurus, right?
Yep.
It wrote Pandasaurus. I remember seeing some posts from them in Instagram. But yeah, I was curious about this game. So I mean, you're the expert of EGA in this podcast.
Uh,
So of course you are. And now it's good to know that there is a lot of options now from new games. Or I'm not pretty sure if this is actually a new game released this year, or it was released in previous year and just brought by Pandasaurus to United States this year. I don't know, because there are some cases, right, that when there are some games
mm,
published in Europe and just they're bringing to US
right,
by a
like
different
Pixies, for
publisher.
example.
Pixies, yes, exactly,
Mhm.
those kind of games. So I'm not
So
sure
yeah,
about this one.
no, I'm not sure about this one either, but I know that it's from Pandasaurus this year. So yeah,
Hmm. Cool. Oh, that's interesting. Really
and
cool.
it's really quick too. So
Perfect. All right. Sounds cool. What about you, Axel?
What about me?
Yeah, of course.
I
What about you?
actually got a game out to the table for once.
Wow.
Um,
From the Shelf of Shame? Tell me it
from
was from there.
no,
No.
it was
Damn
a
it.
friend's copy. We
Okay.
didn't take anything from my shelves, and I
Mm.
thought we were, but you know what? We spent 7 hours on this one game.
Okay.
7 hours.
Oh, let me.
Jeez.
Well,
Is
okay,
it that
Space.
game?
It was,
Is it a
no, it's
space
not that
game?
game.
Oh,
No, it's
okay.
not a space game.
oh.
To be fair, maybe well,
Damn.
7 hours is the amount of time they work here. Maybe playing was like I don't know, five, six,
Oh,
five
that's a
because
relief.
it's still a while, it's still a while.
Still a
But
lot.
yeah,
Mhm.
Whoa.
anyway,
Okay, I'm
this game
curious.
it's not the best theme. It is from a publisher that is known for making like kind of like eccentric games. Do you guys
Mm-hmm.
know Pax Pamir, for example?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I
Of
love
Well,
it.
course, I love
that's
them.
Love it.
the publisher that makes this other game too. It's one of their newer games. It's about playing in the company of John. John
Ah,
Company.
Oh.
John Company. Okay.
Yes,
Wow. What did you think? I mean, that's a beautiful looking
it
game.
is very
Hmm.
beautiful. Like my friend had like the upgraded metal coins of
Oof.
so nice, and the board is nice. The illustrations are excellent, and the wooden components like it was
Mm,
very nice.
okay.
So, what did you think
What
after
did I
all that
think?
time?
I think that we made a couple of mistakes in the rules, but
Yeah.
but it was very interesting. I mean, it does have a lot of rules. There's a reason why it's kind of heavy and kind of long, but the idea is that we're all part of John's company, and we're all involved in this company, and we're our own families though, so we're trying to profit. You know, um, come out with the most money at the end of the game, which could be a couple of rounds depending on which scenario you're playing. But it is set in when England was trying to uh, what's it called, conquer or control India.
Okay.
So our company profits from that. Our company profits from doing trades with the native people, and also from exploiting them and raiding them.
Hmm.
So the theme they probably try to keep it realistic to historic facts, but it could be very sensitive to some
yeah,
people. Um,
yeah, yeah.
so you gotta handle it carefully. But I mean, I think I didn't read the rule book, but my friend did mention that the first page on the rule book that they come out um, trying to explain the theme and showing the respect
Okay,
Okay.
for it.
okay. Well, okay.
So good on them. And then so in here, so all those tokens with colors are the different players, like family members. And in a company, you have multiple roles. You have like the chairman, and you have the secretary of trading, the secretary of shipping, the officers, the commanders, and the governors, and everybody is gonna get a role in those. Is gonna fit one of those roles.
Okay.
And
So is this a metric game?
no, it is. I think it could be, but the base like tutorial. It's not a tutorial, but the first scenario is like everybody has the same
Oh,
abilities. You
okay.
do, I guess, you do start asymmetrically during setup. It pre-organizes everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So like, oh, you start as the chairman and you start as the trader. So I guess you have a asymmetric start.
Okay.
But we all have like the same actions.
Okay.
It's very interesting. That's, I guess, all I can say. It's really, really interesting how it works because we all care about the company. If the company fails to meet expectations, then we lose. Maybe
Okay. Okay.
there are
Maybe.
some buildings that you can, if you build workshops, then
Uh-huh.
you get points if the company fails, which
Okay.
is kind of to symbolize that you, even though the company that was providing all these profits for you failed, you still have like a small investment that give you points in that case.
Okay.
um,
Okay. Okay.
but the game really wants you to negotiate between players, kind of like, oh, if you let me be chairman this time, I'll let you hire your own family, because there's a rule against hiring your own family, nepotism. So in this game, you're not
Okay.
allowed to hire your own meeples, but if you have to have the permission of the other players that are like up to hiring. If they let you hire your
Mhm.
own person, your own family, then that's fine. But that
Wow.
will be
Sounds
nepotism
like
for sure.
Mexico to me. Okay.
Uh,
Perfect.
my
Okay.
God,
Cool.
this could be a
Cool.
free team,
It
I guess.
sounds that's why like I heard that somewhere. Where
Yeah,
when you say that like now I know. Okay. Thank
yeah.
you.
It definitely has a lot of tiny rules that you have to remember
Mm-hmm.
to make sure everything's flowing right. But
Mm-hmm.
the actions themselves are very straightforward. It's all about timing your negotiations and timing how you spend your money to make more money. Um, but we are definitely excited to play it again. We play at 3 players, and I think it shines more at higher player count because
Mm-hmm.
of the negotiations. Um, but yeah, it was cool. I liked it.
Awesome.
Good to
That's
know.
good. It looks like yeah, it was a really I don't you feel like it was a heavy game. I mean, sounds
Yeah.
like.
Sounds like
Rules, rules wise, the decision felt easy, but then
Okay.
again, maybe there was a depth in there that we overlooked.
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, whatever you all play with the same rules, so it was a fair game,
Yes, it was a
right?
fair. It was a
I
fair game.
it was a fair incorrect way to play, so
The rules were
it's okay.
affected everybody.
Yeah, of course, of course. That's what I'm saying. Every time I teach a game wrong, that's my justification. We all play under the same rules, so whatever we play, even we play wrong, we play the same. So
Yeah.
there is no excuses for those who have lost the game. So that's cool, cool. So
Yeah.
real quick, I would like to share with you the game that I play from my game night with my friends, and then throughout all the weekend.
All
So
right.
right quick. So first, the 2 games that we played on our game night were Evergreen, the sequel of Photosynthesis. So that is the correct way to play a board game with trees. So
No.
I
No.
like Evergreen the most.
No.
Of course, that's the way.
Evergreen was a disappointment.
No, how dare you?
It's not a
Anyway,
Fight, fight,
disappointment.
fight, fight,
yeah,
fight.
the people wanted,
It's a different game. It's only the only sharing part is the threes topic,
and the
and
sun,
the
the
sun
sun
that
circulating the board.
It's a
That's
different game. It feels
it's a
on
different
different.
game.
the
Yes.
shadows.
No,
Also,
it
you
feels
score points.
different.
You
I
score points
mean,
based on the
But
shadows that cast the
there is
trees.
no in
That
your
yeah,
face.
I know it's different game, but what I'm saying is the correct way to play that game. So
It's a friendly way to play
that's
that
how
game.
photosynthesis should be from the beginning. Anyway, that's the game we played, and
wow.
we played
Okay.
that game. It was good. I like it. It was a very long time since the last time I played. So, and it was the first time we played with 4 players, and it was a totally different experience. And it was, I mean, I think I have said that in the previous episodes, but now it feels like every game we played with my group of friends, it's like a very tight fight. Like very close um endings, like just by 2 or 3 points. It was not exception this time. It was a really
Hmm.
really close game with like very
Nice.
disappointing because I think it was I ended third just by a difference of 5 points from the first and third player. Very close game. I really like it.
Nice.
And the second game we played was Red Rising. Red Rising.
Good
The
one.
Fantastic Realms version, Fantastic Realms in space, basically, because it's
Okay.
pretty much the same game. Just somebody takes the books and created the same game, the same game, just with different cards. So the way you play is you just have to handle or to manage your hand to score the most points at the end of the game. So basically, you just play a card. Um, Trigger the abilities and then pick a card and then trigger the ability from the location you're choosing the card from. So
Hmm.
really straightforward game, but at the same time it was like we all thought at the beginning that it would be like a low scoring game because we all felt like there was not enough cards for us to create great combos, and at the end we all made 200 more points. So it was a really good game as well. It was a also close game. I don't know, remember, but it was also a very close game. So those were the games we played. But the game that I want to share with you with more detail was a new game, a game that yesterday I just walked through some of the malls that are close my home. I found myself in a place called Barnes and Noble. So for those who
Mm.
knows,
How did
Uh-huh.
that
Barnes and
happen?
No- Barnes and Noble is a temple of temptation for gamers.
Mm-hmm.
This.
So it's a place where you can just walk through directly the books aisles and just reach the board gaming section of the store. So back, I remember back on I think 2000 something, 15, 16, something like that. When I first got in here, I walked through that store, and the only games that caught my attention from that section were the Risk theme games, because I didn't know anything about other board games. But nowadays, I found myself like, oh my God, I think
Take
like
me out of here, please.
yeah, no, it's crazy, and especially in that because not all Barnes and Noble have um, the same games. There are some that have few, or
Mhm.
like any other concessionary stores. So that particular one is huge, and the board gaming section is a really decent section with 3 aisles, and the games that they have every time they're like new games. I mean, they have like classic games but they're restocking with games that are now like out recently. And one of those
Yeah.
games that were out and actually was presented at GameCon was Comic Hunters. It's a
Hmm.
game released in
Mhm.
2020 in Brazil
Hmm.
originally. But then Arcane Wonders managed to get the license of this game and got a license to publish in the US. So this game was out of stock, I think, the third day of GameCon. So by the time I want to get a copy, it was sold out.
Mhm.
So yeah, it was well. Like I'm a huge fan. I'm actually before I start collecting board games, I collected comic books.
Hmm.
So I have
Mhm.
a really large collection of comic books, mostly on my mom's home. Back in Mexico, I have like a room full of comics that I refuse to get rid of.
Are they still there?
They're still there, just
Your mom is
accumulating
like,
dust,
I'm gonna
Are you
get
just
sure?
rid of that.
just accumulating dust, just as my board
Excellent.
games. It's like
Gaining
something.
value.
It's my
Mhm.
thing.
Mhm.
Collecting things to just have some dust on the house.
Yeah. Hmm.
And so yeah, this is a game that previously, like I said, every time I walk into a Barnes and Noble store, I was like, I have to take a game, whatever it is, just pick anything, whatever. But now, before I take anything, I just go directly into some research. I find myself doing some research, previous research. 5 minutes research is not like a really deep research. Just like it's good rated in BGG.
Yeah, I
I
was
have
gonna
some
say. So you
risk.
went to BGG.
BC basically,
Right.
that's what it is. I listen a couple of reviews right quick. Like I go straight to the end. I was like, this game is good. I like because of that, blah, blah. Okay, I like it. So it caught my attention, first of all, because of the theme, and say, basically, you are trying to create a large collection of comic
Mm.
books. But it's a drafting game, but there is a twist because it's not just like the regular or the common drafting game when you get some cards, you pick one and then pass the others to either right or left side of the table. I mean, it has that part, but it's only one part of the game. The game features four different ways to acquire cards. So one is like that, just drafting cards, pick one, and then pass the rest. Then the other one is you lay cards based on the number of players, and then you bid for certain roles. So there is a second way to acquire cards. And then there is another way when you can, it's like called a convention. You create a grid five by five, and then you have to pick all the comics from the same hero. So you can accommodate certain comics, certain cards, and you pick and collect all the cards you want. The tricky part here as well is once you have collect all the cards from the first from the certain round, you have to start laying down your collection. But in order to play those cards, you have to pay for them. And you use the
Mm.
same cards you collect to pay for those. So you can either use the cards you collect as a cards, as an actual comic card, or as a currency to pay for those cards.
So
So
multiple,
sometimes
multiple,
you so sometimes you
multiple
get
use cards.
so sometimes you acquire some cards not only because they are worth more points based on certain criteria that it will initially set up at the beginning of the game, but also because they are very valuable in terms of the money or the currency of those cards. So you can pay for your comics that you really want with the other cards. So it's a really interesting decision making at the end of every round because you have to decide which card you want to keep and which card you have to use to pay for. And yeah, I mean, I really had a really good time playing this game last night. I played last night. Like I said, I found myself in that store, and it was like an invisible hand guiding me through that from that section to the register, and then I
Hmm.
just paid for it. Just paid for it. Was like what? Just like I did,
Yeah, it's not
and
your fault when it
it,
happens like that, you know?
right, right. I
Mm-hmm.
know, I know, I
Yeah,
know,
you're
I
a
know. Thank
victim.
you, thank you.
Yeah,
I'm
you
Yeah,
really
are.
the
thank you.
forces of the universe. It's like, I can't, it's happening, you know?
Yeah,
Just
true.
happened, just happened,
But
and
so, did you play by yourself or you played with other people?
I play with two other players, with my mother-in-law who is visiting us and my wife. So we played the three of us, and like I said, because this is not a game, a language dependent game, so you can actually just by the iconography of each card, you can just explain the game very easily because you're just drafting cards, and you just have to pay attention of the symbols and the blah blah. But I think the most important part on this game is the decision making of what card you want to keep and which one you want
Mhm.
to use to pay for. And so yeah, I really like it. I feel like even when it's just like a drafting game, and maybe because I like the theme, I feel it thematic, like I felt like it was really a good way to explain why you are drafting different ways. Like the older comics, you have to acquire it in a bit because they're more expensive, they're more valuable, they're older. So
Mm.
you cannot just walk into a store and get a copy from there. So you have to actually go in a website and bid for certain numbers that you want to
Mm.
collect. So that for me makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Some other or more recent comics, you just walk through a store and just start drafting cards. So it's the easiest way to collect those cards. So I think it's a really, really cool game. And I think it becomes one of my favorite drafting games now. I mean, I just played it once and I really want to play again and try and try and try and see if it was just first time because it happens sometimes when you've played a game and the first time you're like, oh man, I really like the game, but I really want to feel like different player count. And if this is, I will feel the same way the next time I play it. Because even when there's a lot of cards, I mean, I can see that will be like a high replayability in terms of the gaming, because you are, even at the beginning on the setup, depending of the players that you're playing with, you have to take out certain hero decks. So probably the next time you are adding or removing different ones up, it's kind of like a different way to set up the game at the beginning. So that will create a feeling of replayability at the end. Um, so yeah, but probably because the theme and because the way is not like a classic drafting game, like incorporates different ways to acquire cards every round. I think that's why I really got engaged with this one. I really like it. I enjoyed a lot playing it, and I enjoyed more because I won. So I think that was also one of the main reasons I like the most.
Small detail.
So
Did
yeah,
did you do you feel
everything
like
that is.
it's is it light enough to do? Like you said you taught it to your mother-in-law and your wife. Do they play a lot of games?
My
Like,
wife does. My
mhm.
mother-in-law used to, but
Mm.
I mean, she's able to play a lot of games, but mostly games that is like I said, are they're not language dependent, like with just car games or trick-taking games, things like that. Car games mostly, but even though they're not like classic games or light games, she's able to play. But even though I think just by the basics of drafting, like just take a card, pass the others, or just so make a decision on which card you want, I think it's not a very complicated game to explain. I think at the beginning it sounds like, because there's like a different ways to draft cards, but as you play, it's very easy to understand. It's not a big deal, honestly.
So yeah, so you think it's like you could teach it to family or like gateway type of
Yes,
level.
yes, definitely. But the only thing is, the maximum player count of this game is 4 players. So I would like to see if in the future, I don't know, maybe. It was released in 2020 originally, and it's not, there has no expansion so far at this point. I don't know if with the
Mhm.
incorporation or with the acquiring of the game from Arcane, they will probably, the designers would like to have like an expansion for more heroes or etc., or including more cards. I think will make the game for more players. I think that would be like, but because drafting games like Seven Wonders or any other game like that, they will allow you to play with more players because it's just a very simple way to play, just drafting cards, pass the rest, and blah blah. I think this one could be like the next, just a little bit higher in the level of complexity of Seven Wonders, just a step above of Seven Wonders. That's what I think. Yep, that's
Nice.
it. So that's the game. That's the game that I want to
It
share
looks
because I
cool.
really get it.
It does.
Anyway, so let's move to our main section right quick. We will want to share why we are here tonight is because we want to share the games we enjoy or games we feel like are suitable for rainy days. I don't know where you are, what's the weather where you are right now, but here today was a very cloudy day. It was about to start raining, but at the end it didn't.
It
But it
got canceled.
still exactly. It was like I will be like all in. I had a cloudy day, rainy day, and gaming day, but no, they decided that I will not be able to share that on tonight's
Mhm.
episode. So anyway, we decided that will be a good idea for the people who are listening to share our thoughts on what games we think are really good for days like that. So I would like to share with Axel. Axel, tell
Mhm.
us right quick what games you want to share with the audience and why.
I forgot.
Oh my God, I will share with you first and then. Oh my
Of
God,
course, I
it
forgot.
happens every time.
Mhm.
It happens every
All
time.
right, the first one. That one. Space the Bean. That's my number one.
Yeah.
This is not necessarily like a rainy related game. It's
Of
a
course, yeah,
medium.
coffee, coffee,
Coffee.
coffee
Coffee,
rains.
coffee,
Yeah.
it's amazing at any time. But raining, a blanket and a coffee and a couch.
Cafecito.
There
Oh,
you go.
cafecito. Yeah.
Cafecito.
Cafecito.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we I chose this one because um for my birthday
No.
there was no electricity where I lived. We ran out of
Oh,
electricity because there was a storm and it rained and some power
outage.
power
Outage.
cords
Mm-hmm.
fell, so we did not have electricity, and we played this with like a lamp. We just put like a lamp on the table, and we were determined to play it because we play it on my birthday for some reason every year. It became a
Oh,
tradition. Um,
oh, Gordo.
Especially because this game is one of those uh, pandemic games on Kickstarter that I hyped up so much to my wife. I was like, "Oh, look at this game! It's so cute. It's about coffee. It's gonna be great. You're gonna love it." And it was like 3 years or 4 years later,
Oh,
it
Classic.
finally arrived, and we were like, "Well, it's still cute and it's still amazing." So
Mhm.
now we make it a thing to play it once a year on my birthday, and
great.
even if there is no electricity, we'll still get to it.
Rolling Reggie
Oh,
here
what's
says,
up, Reggie?
Cafecito
Cafecito
todos los
todos los
días.
días.
Yes. Well,
There you
Todos
go.
los días.
there you
2
go.
times a
Yeah,
day.
yeah. So that's I don't
He's
know
saying
why
hi
then.
to Alba. So he says he's busy tonight, but
Hi,
Hi.
lurking.
Reggie.
Thank
Hey,
you for being
hey,
here.
Reggie.
But yeah, for that silly reason, I think Sister Bean is one of my
Oh, that's so
you know
cute.
top
I love
day.
that the title is Seize the Bean, but like in actuality, it's like you acquired the bean very, very slowly.
Yeah,
Like,
you will
Yeah.
get to win eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
All right, perfect. What about your
wait, I
second
have a
game?
question. What type of game is it? Like
Oh,
what is the
yes.
mechanic of the game or
it's an
mechanics?
action. How would you describe it? So you're building your cafe.
Mm-hmm.
So you're a barista, and you're getting ingredients, and you're also getting like customers, and these customers want a specific type of coffee. Like I want a latte, and then to make a latte, you need the coffee bean and milk, and so you can make. If you give them what you want, you're gonna get good reviews, which are victory points. And if you are not able to give them what they want, if you attract more people than you can serve, then you get negative reviews.
Oh, okay.
Yes, yeah, they go on social media. They're like, "Oh, this place is terrible," and so
I know
at
some
the
places like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
and the game ends when all the like good review tokens run out, and then at that point you subtract your negative reviews, and then whoever has the most good reviews wins.
Cool.
Um,
Have
yeah,
you played Coffee Rush? Because it
I
sounds
have not.
also that's
Coffee
like that, right?
cover. Yeah, I was just about to
I
say like
need
this
that
game
game.
sounds like the previous version of
Mhm.
Coffee Rush.
Yeah.
It sounds like I have not played it, but I mean, if it's coffee related, of course I have to play it.
You
and
need it. It's so cute.
and I think this game you just mentioned is not the same cutie small tokens
The
as in
cupcakes,
Coffee Rush.
the
The
coffee
cups and
mugs.
stuff.
Oh, it's
Yes.
so cute. You
I
have
haven't
to
played it,
do
but I
it.
know that Reggie and Kenan played it together at Gen Con, and I don't know what they thought about it. I think they kind of had, well, at least Kenan, it seems like his opinion changed over time, but I think it stresses, it's like a stressful game, right? It stresses you out because you're like, I think it speeds up. I don't know if you ever played like, what is that? The kitchen fulfillment
Kitchen
video
Rush.
game? Kitchen
Rush.
Rush. No. Is
Ah,
that the video game? No.
yeah, it's like for
It
like
is a
cell
I
video.
phone
think it
game,
is.
right? I think I
Yeah, it's a
remember
video
playing
game
that in
too.
cell phone.
Okay, yeah, the one where you're like, like you're trying
Yeah,
to
yeah.
get the.
So it's a
Yeah,
real life game. Okay, cool, nice. It's very
and games are
thematic game.
supposed to help get rid of stress and gives you a little bit different type of
Mm-hmm.
stress.
Mm-hmm.
Good
Definitely.
stress.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Cool, cool. So, what if you go right into your next game
right
right
into my
away?
second one. Okay,
Yeah,
let's
right
do it.
away.
Yeah, Sleeping God. So in case I'm all by myself, I chose this game. Sleeping Gods is an amazing. It can be cooperative. You can play with multiple players, but honestly, The difference is that you will always play with all the characters. It's just that if you play with other people, then you just distribute the characters among yourselves. But you can take care of all the characters yourself. Um, it's really like a storytelling game, and this is from my era when I went crazy about campaign games. Uh, but this
So
one was
you're no
a
longer
hit.
like that. You're no longer like that.
Well, now I'm a father.
I'm a,
Right?
Campaign games are.
your
Hit
campaign has now a
algorithm.
specific game and had your
I,
last
I, I
name.
started I started a different real life campaign.
Exactly.
And
Wow.
you're still trying to survive. That's a good thing.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
like
still
my
in it.
life is a campaign game.
Yeah, there was no
That's true.
tutorial. They just sent me to scenario one
Yeah,
right away.
exactly. Right. Yeah.
Um, but well, luckily I'm not playing that one solo. Um, anyway, this is really good game. It's a storytelling. You are in this mysterious world when you're trying to figure out how to get out of it. It's kind of like fantasy, and you're just going to different locations, and you are presented with some paragraph of the story, and you're given some choices. So you gotta choose where to go, how you can approach it. But it's a bit more complex than that, because you also can get into fights with different creatures that you find. And was I don't know, it had a couple of rules, but it felt streamlined enough that it didn't feel as heavy. And
Mhm.
the story was quite interesting. And what I liked is that it's you're not gonna get to see everything the first time you play.
Okay.
So it definitely invites you to go back and try again,
Mhm.
because there's also multiple endings from
like,
what I
like like
understand.
like what if I have chose different outcome in this particular scenario, things like that.
Yeah, you
Mhm.
can decide to side with like the Minotaurs or go against them, and that will definitely send you on a different path on the story.
Mhm.
Uh, yeah, it's very good. I liked it. I played it one time and a half.
One time and a half.
This is
Cool.
on my shelf of shame.
Yeah. Oh, you should try to get out. I think it's you're gonna get caught by it once you like get it rolling. You're gonna be like, "What? It's been 3 hours since I started playing." Well, yeah.
What is time to go to work now?
What?
Okay,
It's a
cool.
weekend already?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah. Well, it's
well,
good. It's definitely a
okay,
hit.
cool. All right, so Adri, let's go with yours now. So, which one you want to start with?
Mines. I want to start with Meadow.
Meadow.
Woo!
Why
Meadow.
Meadow? Because you can play solo and you can play with people. So basically, you have like everything set up to either go to the campfire or go to the main board with your path tokens. So if you go to the campfire with your path token, you put it in one of the spaces in the campfire, and then you can either take a card, you can take two tokens, two row tokens, you can take three cards, or you can play two cards.
Mhm.
If you decide to instead go into the main board, then with one of your tokens, you like align it either to the right or to the center of the board or to the left. And then you'll pick a card from there. And then you will be building a deck, basically,
Mhm.
um, collecting stuff and meeting requirements in order to get points. And the person with the most points wins. That's
And also,
basically
Interesting.
this is definitely one of those games for a rainy day because it feels so
yeah.
cozy, so
It's so
cozy,
cozy.
so
So
cozy.
beautiful. Yeah, I love the
Beautiful,
art
really
and
nice art.
the
Yes.
components. Yeah, it's
Hmm.
gorgeous.
Yeah, no, I agree on that one. It's really cool.
This
Really
is
cool.
my first one.
Uh huh.
Okay.
And in case that you have family with kids, then you can go with fish and cats.
Fish and
Fish and
cats.
cats.
Fish and cats.
Look at the
Mm.
paws. You
What?
put the paws on your
Look at the
fingers.
paws.
Yeah,
So
they're really cool.
cute.
Yes. So
That
you
is
will
so cute.
use the paw whoop, till you count 1, 2, 3, and then you select a card. If you both or the people that is playing, if you all select the same card, it gets discarded. If you
Hmm.
selected one
That's
card,
so cute.
then you get it, and then the person that reaches, I think it's 6 paw tokens, is the winner.
Yeah. So every round
Exactly.
ends. Every round ends when either any player has at least two pairs, two of three different fishes, basically.
Three or more, I think.
Yeah, two or
Yeah,
three. Yes,
three or more.
exactly.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's really cool.
That's
And
so cute.
Cute.
we played the giant version of this game at GameCon. It was really fun.
it's
So we
very
have us a pause sword fighting. It was really interesting.
funny.
They were really cool. Really cool. I really like that one. Yeah,
Nice.
and yes, definitely a family game because
Oh, nice,
Six
Adri.
players.
Yeah,
this is one of the games that I really like to play with my kiddos, and they both are able to play because it's really easy. Just like I said,
Right.
one, two, three, and
yeah.
start smashing other
And
balls.
it's super fun even for adults. Don't mind
Yeah,
me.
yeah, 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 yeah. No,
Super
that's
fun.
mhm.
Yeah, so
Nice. Nice.
And your third one, right
I'll
quick.
just do it's okay. We can move
Okay,
on.
okay, it's no problem. Okay, that's okay. Alba, please share with us what are your
Okay, well,
choices.
if we're doing two, so first of all, I just want to say that if it's a rainy day, nothing in my life changes. I still have to go do everything with my kid and like
True.
work. And so this
True.
is of my fantasy world. Okay, I'm just
Yes.
prefacing by
Yes.
saying in my fantasy world, if it's like
Best rainy day
raining,
ever.
yes, best rainy day ever, and I'm by myself and I have my coffee,
Oh,
then I'm gonna play Beacon Patrol because it's like,
Ooh.
so if you know Beacon Patrol, it's a solo game only, and you have
mhm.
these little. Can you actually maybe there's a variant now that I think about it. I don't remember, but anyway, so it's like a tile placement type of thing, and it's super simple. You're just trying to kind of create the most points that you can by laying these tiles down and moving, and you're trying to make bodies of water that your little boat can navigate around these islands and stuff. And you get different points if like there's certain things on the tiles, and it's super simple rules, so it's very easy to set up, very easy to play in a few 15-20 minutes I think it takes. So anyway, that would be my first one.
Mhm.
My second game is if for some strange reason my husband and I are both home and we have no responsibilities and somehow my child is being taken care of magically by I don't know who, then I think we could be playing Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective. Any one of the
Woo!
boxes, but this is like a, I guess, do you call it a deduction game? Because you're doing like it's like a mystery solving game.
Mhm.
So you guys are playing. You can play it solo or you can play it co-op with. I think more than two people probably gets a
Yeah.
little too crazy, but I think it's really good for two people because you can
Okay.
basically you're playing against Sherlock Holmes to try
Oh,
to solve before him the mysteries that are in the
Oh,
box.
sounds
So
it's a
amazing.
challenge.
yeah, it's a challenge. I have to tell you that you just need to know going ahead that going into the game that you will not beat Sherlock Holmes because his
He's a
logic is,
genius.
yeah, his logic is ridiculous. Like he's like you get to the end and he's like, well, I know that because of this and the
It
and you're
was
like,
elemental.
yes, exactly, and you're like, okay, that makes no sense.
Like, mhm.
But I think the fun of it is like it doesn't. I don't know. When we play it, I mean, we definitely try to kind of win, meaning that we try to get us. So by winning, it's like the fewest moves possible that you make in the game, the higher the points you'll get. And then at the end, there's like a series of questions for each mystery that's like, who killed the person? How did they kill
Mhm.
them? Da 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 da. And then
Mm.
there's some kind of like side ones that are not necessarily the main mystery, but they're sort of like bonus points that if you're like, did you notice who was the person lurking in the shadows? Da da da. And what were they doing? Why did they have a
Yeah.
knife? So you can get extra points in that way. So we definitely try when we play to do like to maximize and be like, okay, we're gonna go in the fewest moves and interview the fewest people we can in order to solve the mystery. But we never actually quote unquote win, but it's still so fun. I mean, the box is really well done. The amount of like you could in theory like explore talking to all kinds of people in there. You could be like, you know what, I don't care how many points I get in the end. I just want to talk to every person and
Need
hear
someone
their
to talk with.
yeah, because you're just like, I'm curious, like, well, what was
Yeah.
happening over here? And so there's this map that you're showing here, and you can go around the city and be like, okay, well, we're gonna go to Scotland Yard and talk to the coroner, or we're gonna go to, like, you know, whatever the location where the murder occurred, and we're gonna snoop around and see what things are. What clues we might find on the outside, and maybe we'll talk to the valet, because the valet seems very sneaky, like he knows something. You know, it's great. It's a really great game. I highly recommend it, and it's really good for 2 people.
Awesome. So this is basically a chismecito game. So you can start, gossiping with all the people around the board
yeah.
and just getting information by just asking questions.
Yeah.
In some other ways, it will be like creepy, but in this game, it's okay.
Yeah, no,
Cool.
in this game, it's because, you know, you're a detective. You're trying to solve a mystery, so it's okay if
That's
you're
my
like,
justification. I'm a detective. Sorry.
Yeah.
I have to ask you something.
Give me the
I have the I have the right to ask you this.
Called
Feel
me
Exactly.
detective.
Exactly. So
and
I
this
love
is-
that.
This picture is proof why it's a cozy, rainy game here. Like,
Yeah.
people just
It's-
enjoying.
It's also like one thing, you know, regardless of rain or shine, one thing that I think
nice.
is really great about this game. Oh, look at this guy.
Look at
That's
that.
amazing.
That's
Oh,
proof.
he's
That's
he's
so cool.
holding. So there's one of the
The
one of the
newspaper.
components. Yeah, there's a newspaper. There's several newspapers in the box. So for every day, is the way I think all of them are set up this way, where it's like a chronology. So you want to do them in order, because every mystery unlocks a new newspaper, and once you have unlocked the new one, you can still look for clues in the previous newspaper.
Wow.
You know,
Yeah.
for the second mystery, and it's
so
great. I
good.
mean, the story. If you read through these, like
a
they're
whole
just
world.
so it's a whole world. It's so excellent.
Nice.
And but one thing
Yeah.
that's also cool is that you really prompts you, like, chatting with your partner, the person you're playing with, and just being like, oh, I don't know, like, well, but I think that she was looking really suspicious. Like, I think that's I think we should go talk to her. Don't you think? Okay,
Yeah.
okay, let's go. You know, and you can also, like, it's also casual to the point that it's like you could be having a glass of wine, like, you know what I mean, you can concentrate and be
Right.
but you also could be just hanging out and, like, you know, having your mezcalito or whatever and doing the game and being and having like a date night,
Give me
you know.
two.
Yes.
Yeah.
Serve me two.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool.
You know, I got to play a couple of cases of this game, specifically during pandemic. This was one of our, like, can go outside kind of game, and it was like you said, exactly like that. We'll, like, get it out and just discuss the world that the game is proposing in front of you. And yeah, do not make the mistake to think that it's gonna be an easy thing. Like, no, this is like, it's gonna burn your brain, and it's very cool because you know, you don't need to be the most intelligent to get the answers. No, and what I mean is that, you know, no. I didn't mean. I guess that came out wrong.
No,
I know what you mean. I
like
know what
it.
you mean.
I
It's
like
not. It's
it.
not
I
like
like
it's
it.
not a test of your. I know what you're saying. It's not a test of your intelligence. No.
It's because, you know, it's great playing with a couple people, or, you know, more than just you, because then you get to bounce ideas, and then somebody might see the situation from a totally different perspective that you did not even think about, and you're like, whoa, wait, if you see it from that perspective, then this makes sense.
Why are
And
you
then
seeing
things
this
start
guy
clicking.
naked? No.
Okay, well, I don't know what kind of game you're playing.
Ah, damn
but I think it's great. I also
Yeah,
agree
I
that
don't know.
Sherlock
It just
Holmes
came
is
to my mind.
one of those best mystery games.
Question: is this like a legacy game? So once you play through all the games, you cannot play again?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a legacy game, but yes, once you've played, because you're not changing any of the components in any way, but once you've solved the mysteries, yes, you're done. You can't.
Okay.
I mean, you already know the answer. You can't
but
resolve it.
You're
To be honest, at this point,
you're
I
not
don't remember the
destroying
answer.
components or
No,
whatever.
no, you're not destroying components. I mean, you could play through your box and then just give it to
Pass
someone
it.
else, and
Yeah.
they could play through the box. Yeah, and in fact, something that we did with various mysteries is like sometimes we would, like I was saying, we tried to do it in the fewest moves possible. But then once the mystery was complete, we would go back and like read some of the interviews that we didn't
Mm-hmm.
use during the game, just to be like, oh, I wonder what would have happened if we had gone to talk to
Mm-hmm.
her, or if we had gone to investigate this location, or if we had, used one of our movement points to do this thing. So yeah, it's cool. There's a lot to explore. I mean, there's just so much content in there, and each game, I mean, you don't have to, you could hold your place and come back to it if you wanted to, but I think each game takes a couple of hours, so each mystery. So there's a lot of hours in the
Hmm.
box.
Hmm.
I would love to play this one. I think you can play it solo, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice. Cool. That's awesome. That's awesome. This sounds like the kind of games that the kind of game that my daughter will enjoy. Maybe at some point. She loves those kind of games like riddle games or detective theme games. She is
Mhm.
really into those. So I think it will be very at some point it will be a really
Hmm.
good addition for
Hmm.
us as a family. Cool, that's really nice. So in my case, I would like to share with you a couple of games. One of the games that I want to share, let me go find it. Okay, first of all, first one is the game that I have played a lot this year, and a game that I think Alba will
Mm.
recognize because
Mhm.
yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right, Alba? Mhm.
She knows.
Ah, yeah,
I
no, for sure.
definitely know. I definitely know. Sergio
For
has been kicking my butt in this game.
politely, but that's true.
Fun like.
No, no, I mean, it's you know how much I've been talking about for shuffle. It has become an obsession to me. I play like all the time in BGA. I cannot refuse an invitation to play this game. Um, and I'm just think this is one of those games that you can just lay it on the table, start playing cards, and that's it. I mean,
Mhm.
really also it feels cozy because it's you creating a forest.
Yep.
I mean,
A
no
rainforest.
no need for any complicated
Uh,
rules or mechanic. It's just getting cards and playing cards and try to create crazy combos. That's it. So I think this game is fantastic. I love it, and I like how you can think you have like a strategy already mechanized somehow, or what is your best strategy, but then you can adapt based on the cards you're having every game. It's
Mhm.
just fantastic game. So I consider this one of my absolute favorite games this year, and I don't know, probably it's gonna jump into my top 10 ever. So I don't know, I really like it. And now with the announcement of the new expansion, there are just more cards, more things to do out there.
Yeah.
So I hope this becomes one of these um
Classics.
wingspan alike game when you just add more cards and more cards,
Mhm.
and it will be like, as long as you have money to pay for
Nest
those
box.
expansions, I'm into it. I mean, I don't care. I will get everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah,
The
no,
cards are so beautiful too.
yeah, no, definitely. So I would like to show you right quick a couple of things that I
Real
have here
life
because
example.
Real
yeah, no,
life.
no, because I like to show up a couple of promo
Ah,
cards that I got from GameCon. So
damn.
yeah, a
Ooh.
couple of
What is on
those.
the top? I can't see.
It's a cardinal,
A
I think.
cardinal. I
Yeah,
Oh.
it's
think
a
it is.
cardinal. It's a cardinal. Now you can see. It's a cardinal and a firefly.
Mm.
There are promo cards for this game. It's a fantastic game. I love it. I really like it. So anyway, that's my first choice for tonight because I think even if there is no rain out there, it's just a very relaxing game. The way you play the cards, create combos, and score more than 300 points every time. Anyway, next game is
300 points. I've never scored 300 points.
Is that even possible?
and then second game, it's a game also one of my absolute favorite. You guys know what it is. It's Everdell.
Yeah.
Everdell.
Mm-hmm.
Everdell is the game.
Everton.
Everdell is the game.
It's
So
a game.
I've been talking about this game a lot, like
Oh.
a lot, because I love it. I love
Mm-hmm.
it. Even when there are some crazy people out there that thinks this game is worthless, I will defend this with my life because I think it's great. The way you play it with just
It's cute.
few, and you create some, or you will be able to create so much
Mm-hmm.
with few, with just few. It's amazing. That feeling. It's, I don't know if that happens to you as well, but in my case, this is one of the games that makes me feel smart because at the end I was able to manage to lay down 15 or more cards in front of me. I don't know how,
Mm-hmm.
but I did. So it's like the, the 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 chain reaction of every play and the way you try to get resources to play, but then you have the next card to play free, blah 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 blah, and then just the graphics and the components and everything. I just love the game, damn it. And that's it. I think for a really relaxing gaming session of Everdell, instead of just putting down laying down the game or the base game of Everdell, because I have the all in stuff. I rather prefer to put on the table Far Shore, which is basically a
Mm-hmm.
the shorter version of Everdell. Same
Hmm.
mechanics, just a little twist in between, but it's basically Everdell in the sea. That's pretty much
Hmm.
what it is. And but if you have time, just like Alba mentioned, if for some miracle I just have my kids on bed and I have like 5 hours to play, I will definitely lay down everything about Everdell
Everything.
on the table, all the expansions, all the cards, all the promo, and I will set up the
All the
huge
berries.
all the stuff out there. But anyway, that's my choice because it's the theme. I think it's also very related with those cozy times when just afford. I think animals and nature. It's very
Hmm. And
cozy.
coffee.
Yeah, coffee as well, and coffee and caffeine.
Definitely
Um,
coffee.
so yeah, those were my choice. I had a third one, but I rather prefer to share this one instead of the other one because, like I said, I adore Everdell. Anyway, so those were my options. Thank you.
I have never
Excellent.
played Everdell.
Oh my god,
You're
No,
not. You're not.
that was straight
You're not
into
missing
my heart.
anything.
Alba.
you are missing
Oh
a
no!
lot.
How dare you?
You are missing a lot.
How dare you? I
It's
wasn't. I wasn't.
definitely one of
I
my
wasn't
favorites too.
expecting more. Yeah, you see, Alba. This is the second time this guy is pissing me off tonight. So I don't know. The third time it's gonna be like Beetlejuice. Three times, that's it.
Three
I'm
times I'm
done.
out. I'm out. He's gonna
I'm
kick me
done.
out.
Yes, yes.
All right, I'll behave.
uh, yeah, please do. Anyway, I mean, I understand some crazy people. Like I said, crazy people maybe underestimate the game. They may think it's just like meh game. It's not a meh game. Of course, it's not the
Needs
meh
to
game.
play it too.
It's
Yeah,
somewhere
maybe just
between
for.
me and
No,
okay.
if
Ah,
you will
shit!
like it or
That's
not.
it.
Oh my god! Goodbye, people.
That's it.
Goodbye. You can
Bye.
follow me on this, amigos. Oh no!
Oh
Oh
my
no! I'm gonna mute
god.
myself. How about that?
See,
Yeah,
that's the
please.
drama I came for.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there you
that's what
go.
you need.
Yeah, you're in the right place then.
Mhm.
That's the only reason I watch you every week, guys. That's what she said. I live for this. Me
Yeah,
too.
I live for this lucha libre.
Oh, you see,
Woohoo.
she comes because of me.
Of course, we all come because
Oh,
of you.
that's what she said. Anyway,
What?
Oh my
um,
My
gosh.
anyway,
god!
anyway. So I think at the end, probably you should play Everton just for your own, so you can create your own opinion on that. But at the end, if you're just a gaming person with a little of criteria, you will love Everton. That's what I'm saying. That's it. That's it. Anyway, thank you for sharing your games, your cozy games with us. I'm just going to straight to the final section of this episode, which is sharing the chismecito. What do you want to share with us about what's happening recently? and game and board gaming scene in the board gaming world. So if you one of you have anything you want to share, now is the time. So what about who started the last section? It was Adri? Yes. So what about Axel? Axel, what about you? You want to share your chismecito first? Because you have chismecito, right?
Of
Chismecito,
course,
Axel,
of course. I
please.
always do. I am,
Last week chismecito
involved in everything.
Was great.
was great
Well, okay,
chismecito.
it's
That's the
once a
thing.
year and it's spent. Um,
No.
Oh,
yeah,
Okay.
no, just a entry level chill chismecito today.
Okay.
I've been
Okay.
looking that there is, of course, a lot of new games
Mm-hmm.
being shared on BGG, and one of my favorite themes and games are definitely Civilization, kind of like
Mm-hmm.
building games. And there's this game called Beyond the Horizon that
Beyond the horizon. Mm-hmm.
I just saw it like um oh wait a
Is
second.
that Phoenix? That one? Oh no, that's different.
No, this is a I just realized it's a re-implementation to Beyond the Sun, which is interesting.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I should have known from the title, but it just clicked.
It looks better than the tech tree.
Yeah,
Well, this is
definitely.
this is a factory
Yes.
too. Well, no,
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 but
it's
I
not.
mean the
It
other
has
one
a
was like so dry looking.
Yeah,
it
look at
was
this. Look at
it was.
this. This looks like a game now. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why it didn't click to me that it was a reimplementation because this actually has a map that you are building. Um, well, I'm even more intrigued now to see how what
Look
changes
at
they made.
this. Look at
Yeah,
this.
that looks cool. See,
Mhm.
I've always been interested in Beyond the Sun, but it's like so dry looking that I'm like,
I
no
know.
one
I
will ever
know.
play this with me.
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Okay. Well, that's
Yeah,
it. Yeah, it's cool.
that's just a game that caught my attention.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it
Perfect.
looks rad.
What about you, Adri? You have chismecito for tonight? She's concentrated. She's focused. Yeah,
Just
it's your
looking for
turn,
it.
Adri.
I left it here somewhere. Let me.
Audrey! Yeah, she's
hello.
love it. So what's your chismecito, Audrey?
I
Please tell us. Tell us.
please tell us a chismecito.
Give us
I
something.
Chismecito.
Save the section.
Who
the most
block you?
recent the most recent thing that I've seen is a new Unmatched, but
No.
I'm not sure if it's going to be like a new thing for you because like most people know all the Unmatched
Everything.
Oh,
news
so
about
that's my
everything.
chismecito, by the way. Maybe.
I'm so
Okay.
sorry.
Anyway, yeah, we'll
Well,
split
maybe
now.
next week.
It's my fault for asking you to go first. So anyway, you have all the right to share it before me.
So yeah, it's Muhammad Ali versus Bruce Lee.
I know,
That's
so that's different. Okay, thank you.
Mm.
that's the one that's
Different expansion.
different
Yeah.
expansion. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was actually curious about that when it was announced because originally Bruce Lee was sold as a separate box, as a unique
Hmm.
character.
Yeah, I
But
know.
you can get Bruce Lee, and I got one. So I feel very lucky to have a copy of that box because I know it was like outdated. And
Out.
it's, yeah, so um, yeah, I'm curious if there will be like a chance to get Muhammad Ali in a separate box, or they are only going to put the box with the two characters together. Because if that's the case, I mean, why would I need a second copy of Bruce Lee? I don't know. That's
True, but I think it should be like the two of them together in one box.
yeah. Well, yeah, that's a shame. It's just let me just show right quick the box how it looks because it looks nice.
It looks really
Yeah,
nice.
here.
Mm-hmm.
Muhammad Ali and
Hmm.
Bruce Lee. I mean, yeah, that's what I like. Boxing against kung fu. Give me some blood. There you
Two
go.
pack set. Yeah, it's a pack set, so I guess yeah, they're gonna be together for sure.
Yeah, yeah. And I haven't seen announce the Muhammad Ali box by itself, which is a shame. Like I
Okay.
don't know, it will be like a shame if they just release that way. In my opinion, I
When
understand.
is
I understand a lot of people they are still looking for a copy of Bruce Lee because also Bruce Lee one of my absolute favorite characters in the match series.
Okay.
But I don't know. I think they should also consider the players who already have Bruce Lee in a separate box. That's my opinion.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe they did it for the people that didn't get Bruce Lee.
Yeah, but I don't have Muhammad Ali. What the fuck?
Well,
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 well, yeah, that's a
Wow.
shame.
shame.
Albert, do you have any chismecito you want to share with us tonight? Anything, whatever.
And
It's
Okay.
very welcome.
I wasn't prepared, but I have something.
What?
Um,
That's
Yes.
what I love you at the end. So.
Uh-huh.
so I have two pieces of chismecito. First
Oof,
piece is this. I don't know that this is chisme really, but
it is.
I've been okay.
everything.
Okay,
It's
everything's
just
chisme.
it's
So
just
I have been, I don't know if anyone else does this, but I throw things in my cart on my online shopping experience, and I'm like, oh, looking at pre-orders, like what's coming up. So one game that I had tossed in there that I was like, I'm intrigued is Alte: Dawn of Civilization, which is coming out. I don't know, in November according, but it's a new Mori book,
Oh, Paul
Paolo
Murray.
Mori game. About like it's like a
Ooh.
deck building and civilization, and
Oh.
yeah, and the artwork is really cool. Well, to me, I don't know, and the meeples look very cool. Wouldn't like these really kind of, I don't know how you describe this type of graphic design, but you should look it up. It looks cool. I haven't heard anything about it really, but I'm intrigued because it I'm attracted to it, you know.
Mhm.
And then my second piece of chismecito is we have some new podcast episodes coming out, and I forgot to plug our podcast, so tune into the Punchboard Cathedral. We don't have a video component, so you can just find it anywhere you stream podcasts.
Which is
excellent.
great. We have think
Awesome.
a lot of just reaching to that mood, but now I think it's separate business. But I really, I mean, in my case, I've been listening all the episodes from the Punch Cathedral podcast. Is really nice. I love
Thank
the
you.
way you I would say like handle every theme that you talk about. It's just fantastic, and
Oh, thank you.
you can start listening because it's really just you can put it on your car or when you're commuting. It's really
Hmm.
really nice. It's really nice. So
We have
great
fun.
recommendation. What is going to be released? The new episode. Share with us.
Kenan, where are you? No, he's editing. He's been editing the last two episodes, and I think they were supposed to come out last week. So I don't,
Okay.
we have a
It's building the
flexible,
hype.
yeah,
You
flexible
will find out.
timetable. Yeah, I'm just hyping it up.
Ooh, yay.
If you really want to take a look at that, and you should, then go to Alba's Instagram profile or Cannon's Punchboard Cathedral or Meeples and Baneenees on Instagram. You'll
Hmm.
definitely find out information on the exact date when the new episode will be released. That's for sure. So that will be the recommendation. Hi, Mike.
Hello, Mike.
Thank you for being here. Thank you. You join us just in the right point where we are sharing the news, the
Yep.
most important part of the podcast. And Match and Messit is also related with Unmatch, but this is I want to share it now because it's going to be released anytime now, which is the Teenage Mutant
Uh-huh.
Ninja Turtles Unmatch
The
Adventures
Teenage Mutant
Plus.
Ninja Turtles are really having a moment again.
Yeah, I
They are.
know. And you know what's the best part for me? My oldest daughter is really into it. So we are sharing all the same hype. It's like
Nice.
have been reborn with her,
I
you
love
know?
that.
Oh my
Right.
God. We are playing a video game, like implements the old school way of video games of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that you're playing with select a character and you start just kicking asses all the way and start, completing missions. She's really good at it and she's like, wow, yeah, yeah, yeah. And she got excited. Oh my God, it's really good. And when I told her about this game, she was like, you have to get it. They're like, of course, you don't even have to mention it. It will be done. So, as you can see here, it's going to be launched in Kickstarter. It says September 2024, and we're in September. So, I'm still waiting for the official date, but that's one of my most expected releases, at least in Kickstarter. The good thing is on Match games that are released through Kickstarter or announcing Kickstarter are pretty much done in terms of production and stuff. It's just
It's
for
a
founding.
pre-order.
Exactly, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm expecting to have this probably first quarter next year, the latest. That's my hope. And I will blame a lot of people here if that's not the case. But, but still, this is one of the games because I also had the chance to take a look on at least some components and the map and
Mm-hmm.
just a small taste of the game at GameCon this year. And I had to ask, is this a game? Because the main idea of this box is for for the players to select one of the characters and start uh, playing as a companions and completing missions, defeating villains and bosses and stuff. So it's like adventure mode for Unmatched. So I had to
Mm-hmm.
ask, what if I had this crazy dream of my childhood of actually have this character for me and get the deck and the character out of this box and start fighting with, I don't know, um, Bigfoot or Red Hood or Robin Hood or any other unmatched
Mm-hmm.
character in the series.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, of course, you can just select whatever. I lost my ears at that point. It was like, when they said, of course, it was like, okay, yeah, you got me. Take me there. Because this is exactly what I like. This is exactly what I want as well. So I just want to pick my favorite turtle here and start kicking any other asses out there in the match series. So I'm really excited, super excited about this game. And I'm just, like I said, waiting for the launching date on Kickstarter. That's my chismecito.
Would you believe I have not played
Great.
any Unmatched?
Mike says, who is your favorite turtle? Raphael. Raphael is my favorite turtle. Raphael. Oh, yeah, it's kick. It's badass turtle.
I played
Um,
once unmatched and I got beat up. And I don't know. I just didn't like it as much.
you
I'm
gave
sorry.
up. No, that's okay. It's not for everyone, but as it's for people. In my opinion, it's for people who enjoy making damage on the board
Hmm. Okay.
because you really that's the goal. In order to win the game, you have to defeat or being the last person standing at the
Hmm.
end of the game. So to do that, you have to fight. There is no way that you can run forever. So
Right. No, it's not
it,
that I didn't. I actually enjoyed it because I did. I played with Alice and I got defeated. I don't remember which was the character that defeated me, but I mean the games are great. But yeah, you have to be ready
yeah, no, it's a
to die or
you
like
you have to have taste for those kind of
Mhm.
games.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You have to be ready to die.
and you
If
know
you're not
me,
ready to die, then
and you know me.
don't play
I'm
it.
that kind of player.
Yep.
Um, we have another comment here. Beyond the Sun is so good. Excited for Beyond the Horizon. There you go.
Nice.
Yeah,
Very
Yeah, I
good.
am too now because I didn't know about this at all.
yeah. So there you
Me
go.
neither.
And
So
that's
now
why
you
they
know.
call it chismecito.
There
That's
it is.
right.
You see, we are helping the community out there. Huh, you're welcome.
There you go.
You're welcome.
Anyway, thank you. Thank you. I think it's been a great, great, great episode. I enjoyed a lot, and I'm pretty sure you all are. I don't know if about Alba. I hope so. But we are really, I think
No,
we're
she
enjoyed.
didn't.
Yeah,
We have
never
enjoyed a
coming
lot.
back. I
Uh,
haven't. It was boring. No, I'm kidding. No, I laughed. I laughed so much.
ouch.
No, we're so glad. I mean, I'm speaking the name of these guys, but I think look at that kidney Axel is doing. So he's dedicating kidneys now. So that's the new thing. I
It's
think
a
kidney is
potato.
more valuable than hearts
It's
right
a
now. So
potato.
yeah,
It's a
a potato. But thank you so much for accepting the invitation, Alba. I hope you had a
Thank
good
you.
time here.
I had a
And
great time. I had a great
woohoo!
time.
Yay.
Yeah. So we expect that this is not the last time. This has been great. So thank you for being here. And if anyone wants to follow you, and you should be following Alba, if you're not
Mhm.
following her right now, it's now the time. So where they can find you, Alba?
Well, you can find me on Instagram at Meeples and Baneenees. You
Just like
can
that.
find our podcast at Punchboard Cathedral, anywhere you stream your podcasts. And otherwise, I don't know where you can find me.
Somewhere in New York,
Somewhere
Yeah,
some
in New
really
York.
like.
somewhere, maybe wandering around Brooklyn
Oh,
if
so
I
now
look
it's more
lost.
specific, more specific.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe somewhere in Brooklyn, somewhere in
Mhm.
between the 31st and 34th Street, right?
Yeah.
So it's
Try,
getting closer.
if you can beat Sherlock Holmes in in more
Ah,
more quickly discovering where I am, you'll
mhm.
win something. I don't know what.
So you were
Nice.
giving us clues about your location. Hmm.
Don't
Hmm.
Mm.
stalk me.
I
Erase
cannot
that.
pro. All right.
Don't do that. Mm-mm.
Mm, please don't. So yeah, thank you all for sharing, and yeah, definitely please take a look on what she's been doing recently, and of course, podcast Punch for Cathedral is a really good podcast that you should start listening if you have not yet. So Axel,
Yes.
what about you?
What about me? Exactly. What about me? I don't
Yeah,
know.
what's happening?
I'm
What's
not in
up?
charge.
What's up? What's up?
Well, if you wanna reminisce on my past content creation, you can go follow me on Dyson Amigos. Um,
If you want to
it's
see my past content.
yeah, you can go over there and take a look at what the great times I
Uh,
used to have. No, but I update some more or less on stories when I get to play. Um,
Eventually.
and
Yes.
But
I
you can
promise
find
I'll
him
come back.
here.
We
You
I'll
did.
come
can
We
back.
find
did.
him here. Yeah,
I'll
Yes.
it's
come
more.
back. If we reach 10,000 followers, maybe I will.
Oh,
Mm,
wow.
I'm wondering how you plan to reach that amount of followers if
Without
you
doing
without
anything.
doing anything. But yeah,
Bots.
I
Mhm.
mean, keep
But
trying, keep trying.
spend.
No, no. But you can follow me there if you want to keep up with anything related to my board game life,
Good.
for
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah, thank you, Adri. Please, what are you doing recently? Where
Me.
people can find you?
Okay. So where we can find me is Instagram and TikTok.
Ah,
And here in After Game Night,
yeah.
we are
Mhm.
trying to keep the Instagram page of After Game Night updated. So bear
Mhm.
with us. We're getting there.
We're
Yes.
getting there.
Well, yeah, Wonder Meeple is kind of the same on TikTok. The same reels I have on Instagram are the same videos I upload on TikTok, so you
There
can
you
find
go.
me there too.
Choose your favorite.
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty much. All right.
Nice.
So, in my case, I'm recently retake the Face Off board game challenge. So it's been a long time since the last time I actually battled with someone because last time they beat me like 3 rounds in a row. It was like
Oh
it
no.
was bad. It was bloody, and I was disappointed. I lost my faith in life.
oh,
Oh
So
my
You need
god.
Rafael.
yeah, exactly right. But yeah, this month I think we started. We have a really hype on the first round, and probably some time this week it's gonna be published the second round. So if you're interested, just take a look and see what's up next on that one. And of course, there's gonna be more game reviews some at some point,
at some point.
eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. So anyway, you can always find us. No, not always, but probably every week, every Monday in Outdoor Game Night Podcast. Thank you so much for being here. If you have not also yet subscribed to our channel, please do follow the Instagram account. And yeah, so hope that we can see you next week as well. Thank you. Thank you for
Yes.
being here.
Thank
Thank
you,
It's been
everybody.
a
you.
pleasure. Thank you.
Bye. Thank
Have a good
you.
night.
Bye.
Bye.
Don't forget to blink. Drink water.